Hello and welcome back to Falcon Blues TV. I'm Paul and I'm joined once again with Callum. Thanks for coming on again, mate.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, I know,
You've been snowing for a while.
That's it, yeah. It's been I was out one night with the flu, or AIDS as it was called, for a while, like, but yeah, I'm doing much better, thanks.
Good to you, good.
Yeah. But thanks for coming back on our official stat man, I think we're going to have to start calling you. But obviously we're talking about Everton's 1-0 victory to Cardiff. Been a few sort of like, not negative comments, but people going, well, it weren't great, was it? We got the result, you know?
Yeah. I think it was one of them games, wasn't it? I think going into it, you knew what you were going to get. You were going to get them defending, you were going to get them being direct.
Neil Warnock, isn't it?
Yeah, so, but I just think, obviously going into the game, we had a few players that probably underperformed, potentially, and obviously Richarlison, he played midweek, didn't he, or whatever?
You made a good shout about Richarlison, saying that he looked jet-lagged.
Yeah.
Did not look himself, did he, like, but...
Yeah. Even like when he's run the play, you just seen that little extra yard slower to me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you know, in the end, obviously 3 points was a massive thing, and I think obviously maybe sometime last season that might have ended up being a draw, and you come back with 2 points drop type thing. So at the end of the day, the position that we're in now is, you know, win and win ugly if you need to.
The result all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah.
My expert analysis here on Neil Warnock, gobshite. I've never liked him, to be honest. Never have.
I've met him, you know.
He's a nice guy.
I've met him, yeah. He's a nice guy.
Comes across as very, like, just, I don't know what's the way, he just seems to make comments that, like, after the game he was moaning about saying everyone wasting time and stuff like that.
Yeah, with the Sigurdsson, wasn't he? He came up and took a while to come off with him, but he's not going to do that.
Well, exactly, and their goalkeeper got booked in the first half for time wasting, so, you know, come on, Neil. Yeah. He was on about a few other decisions, but we'll get stuck into that. But, good win, you know, that's what we want, right? We want to win, so, you know, and it's a big game coming up for next week. Well, next weekend anyway, but we'll jump right into it, yeah.
So yeah, this is just going to the game, just a couple of things and stuff. So obviously, you know, at home this season we've done really well, haven't we? 4 wins, a draw and a loss. The draw was obviously a disappointing one against Huddersfield, and obviously the shocking game against West Ham where we just got our tactics wrong and didn't play well. Scored 12 before the game, 6 conceded, and averaging nearly 16 shots a game, which is decent. But again, with only 4.2 on target per game, so
we've got the 5th best in the league as well. And it's
in terms of home form, yeah. In terms of home form.
6. Look, that's how I'm gonna say it, yeah.
Average shots conceded, 10.5, and obviously your top goal scorers, Richarlison and Sigurdsson. So, yeah, you know, going to the game, a few little stats there, and you know, on paper, you know, before the game, you're thinking 2 or 3-0 win to Everton potentially, but you know, I watched them against Spurs, and Spurs beat them 1-0, and obviously I think they had the man sent off with 32 minutes to go, and Cardiff should have got a point. They had a great chance at the end, similar to the free kick that they put in against us when they went diagonal into Patterson, and he's nodded it down and he's just tipped it around the post and whatever. So you know, that was a game where they had, I think, 8 shots in that game in Spurs and 6 on target. So that was like their best return in terms of shots. I think the other one, I think they had quite a few against, who else was it away? Potentially Huddersfield, I think. But yeah, they should have got a draw in that game. So, you know, only 1-0 there, and going to this game, you knew it was going to be like a tricky tie, especially with obviously...
Their form's went up a bit as well, hasn't it? Since before they played us, like they got 2 wins.
If you look at the away games before, the away games have been hard, you know. They played Liverpool
away,
Chelsea, Spurs away. And then the other 2 were Bournemouth, tough game, and then Huddersfield where they got the draw. So I think it looks worse than what it actually is on paper. Like.
Oh yeah, I agree. And you know, it's tough games, right? They're all tough games now, though, aren't they? But you know, I feel a bit sorry for Cardiff because out of all the teams that come up, they've spent the least, and everyone's sort of writ them off, hasn't they?
It's sort of show, and I think in terms of the quality, regardless of the scoreline the weekend, they just didn't have anything, did they? No, like, that Patterson's not even a centre forward.
No, it doesn't seem like they've got much like attacking threat. And who did they have to come off the bench? Junior Euler, remember him when he was at Blackburn and stuff? Who at one point looked like a promising player, and I don't know. It seems tough. It's got to be a tough season for Cardiff.
I think if they're going to stay up, I think it's going to be the home form that might get them through. But even then, I think they're going to struggle.
Yeah, I agree.
So that was obviously talk about that. So they had 5 games, 1 draw against Huddersfield, and another 4 losses. 19, so only Fulham have a worse record than that.
Really, yeah.
Yeah,
He's just won on the weekend as well, haven't they, as well? They got a big win.
Yeah, they'll probably stay out now, brand new.
That's a big one there, isn't it? Away form with 2 goals scored and 11 conceded.
One against Liverpool, though.
That was the one of them?
So 40 shots attempted, 73 shots against, and obviously average possession there, 29.2%.
It's not looking too rosy, is it, for Cardiff, like?
No.
But good luck to you, like,
So, before the game, I spoke about it the other week, actually after the game, in terms of on the grand old team, and
shout out to Adam.
Adam asked me about, obviously, the whole Richarlison thing, and we spoke about it before the Man United game.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, about what team we'd play, and
yeah.
I mentioned Richarlison playing out wide and playing obviously a striker up front, and I just picked out some things from the other day. So, this is Everton here, obviously they pressed to regain the ball, but this happened quite a few times in the game, and you look here, so the number 9 position is Richarlison, the 9. For me, he can play there, but for me he's not a long-term number 9, but obviously with Bernard in, he's going to obviously play there for the foreseeable. So this, we obviously pick the ball up here, we do a regain, and obviously we've got no one on their back line, so you've got the right centre-backs come out, 2 centre-backs in here, and the left-back in there.
We really are
them there, and I think Walcott, he's out of the picture. So in terms of, occupying these 2 centre-backs, a key example of, again, no number 9 in there, we regain the ball, and you're probably thinking from that position, we should mount an attack. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Go forward.
Yeah.
In this attack, we don't. Obviously, Sigurdsson's in. This was a massive one in the game as well, just to go off point a second. It was in the first half, they played a 4-1-4-1. So,
which is what we sort of expected, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Gunnarsson, his job was just to man-mark Sigurdsson, so he followed them all over the pitch, and that was one of the main reasons where we didn't have that link from Garner to Gomez, into Siggy, into Richarlison. So it was sort of, goes to Gomez, goes to Garner, and then bypassing into Richarlison, where obviously he's getting muscle off the ball, and the balls to him being great. So in this one, obviously, we pick up the ball here, Richarlison, in the pink, we win it back. No one vacated in the centre, and then from this point here, I think goes back into Digne, and then Digne goes back, and we go all the way back to the halfway line. It was off a final third regain. It was
a frustrating thing last season as well, wasn't it, sometimes? And that,
yeah.
It's one thing that gets on the sort of extra fans as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
but
100%.
I think, especially lately, the atmosphere at Goodison's been a lot better. It's been a lot more positive, hasn't it? But that's very interesting looking at that, because, like you said, we've got no pressure, are we, on the
back line, yeah.
It
just allows them now with no pressure in there to step out,
of course, yeah.
and just close that space even more. So it makes it difficult. And then another picture again, Gomez number 9. This was Gomez's great run where I think he's done a little skill here, hasn't he? On the
had a really good game again, didn't he? Especially in the first half. For
me, like my uncle, he's gone the game since like 60s, 70s. He's like seen as our good times and stuff, and he's saying, like, in terms of how good Gomez is, he's like one of the best players we've had for a long time in terms of the ilk that he's got and what he brings. And I think you look at whether you're playing a 4-3-3 or you're playing a 4-2-3-1. When you're adding there Garner last season, it was Garner Schneiderlin, Garner Davis. For me, very similar players.
Yeah.
But then 2 players who, for me, can't really get round the pitch in terms of closing down aggressively. They're not quick players.
No.
Would you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, completely, yeah.
So with Gomez, I think he gives us that extra stability in the midfield. Doesn't put all the onus then on Garner.
No, it reminds me a bit of Arteta as well.
He does. And I think long term, if he did stay, I think he could actually
touch wood.
Yeah. Well, I looked at the thing about it, and with Barcelona, they bought him for 36 million
from Valencia. Yeah.
With 20 million in add-ons. And he played 46 games.
Really, yeah.
And he said when he came over here, one of the main reasons was obviously Silva and how well he spoke about him, and obviously his ideas for the club and his vision and his blueprint and how he wanted him to play and his philosophy. And he also said when he was at Barcelona, he felt, obviously you would do, he felt so much pressure being at Barcelona.
Of course,
like on his shoulders, and I think he's playing out of position. And he said he even got to a point where like he felt like it was hell for him. Like he was coming on in games and getting booed and then getting subbed, getting booed and...
He booed this guy?
So, I've seen on Twitter as well, like when he left and obviously we signed him, we didn't know really much about him. All the Barcelona fans were like, oh, well, I got rid of him, he's not good enough. But,
yeah.
You know, you're talking about Barcelona.
It's Barcelona, yeah, it's a good point actually, yeah.
But yeah, so just in this one, so we marked here, this zone in here where obviously in these areas it's where most of the Premier League goals are scored. That's where they're scored. So for me it's here into the 18-yard box. We've got 1, 2, 3. So 3 in the 18-yard box, 1 on the edge. Then mark here the 6-yard box with the yellow. So in between the 2 goalposts, not 1 player. And who would you normally see in them positions?
Well, your striker, isn't it, yeah?
A number 9, so, you know, back in the day, maybe a Yakubu in there.
Yeah.
You'd see him, wouldn't you? You know, no one penetrating that line as that cross goes in. And
no pressure at all there, is there?
Yeah, so I think, you know, Richarlison, you know, he can finish, he can do all the things, he can beat players, but I just think it's that natural instinct of when it goes into a danger position, get yourself in there, attack the front post, or ghost yourself in there in that 6-yard box.
Sure.
Similar positions to what Man City get in. How many times does Sterling get in that position and score tap-ins is like ridiculous. So this was another chance and one that went begging, and again it's just looking and you're thinking, a number 9 in there, it's a goal.
I think the only one out of the Everton players there that I like to see in that position is Sigurdsson. You'd like to see him on the edge of the box. Bit of a Lampard-esque late run into the box and a little pullback and stuff. But yeah, it's a good point.
This was just, you know, frustrating for Everton, and the views from didn't have any real clear-cut chances, I think.
No, great.
And this was coming on to the goal. I'm just made an analysis on this, just obviously a picture of a type thing. And obviously we just highlight Walcott here. I was probably, and like many others as well, probably unfair of him at the weekend, and because I watched the game back when I got back and you see it from fresh eyes and you watch it, and to be fair, in terms of all like the meaningful chances that we created and combinations in the final third, Walcott was involved in most of them. A lot of the times this did happen, obviously, where the defender got tight to him and he didn't turn and whatever, and it's just something that Walcott, you know, he's different to Lookman, isn't he? Like, you give that to Lookman there, he probably spins him and he drives inside himself. Yeah,
it's what you expect from a youthful player as well, isn't it?
Yeah, with energy and stuff coming on late. So, just in this one, obviously you've got Garner in here, Gomez occupying, and obviously then I think Richarlison here. So, again, Keane was involved in this goal once again. But it goes into Walcott, man on, plays back into Keane, and it goes then into our man, the general, got the Gomez. Knocked round the corner into Richarlison, and then obviously then Walcott goes and gets the get-go and then goes through.
Yeah.
And we get the goal. So it was a really good move, I thought, to get the goal, but one was a little bit fortuitous as well, because it sort of ricocheted off their defender, didn't it? And obviously made it 1-0, and Sigurdsson the main man again with the goal.
That's it. We've got this was something else. I think Neil Warnock pointed out as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. What do you think about this?
I don't think that's a pen. I don't.
I watched it.
I'm biased, like, but you know.
We've seen the Dino one, didn't we? Where he's played it through. It was sort of a similar one, wasn't it? But Dino was the other side, wasn't he? And he's come across and he's been knocked off the ball. For me, that probably wasn't a pen because the ball was away before he's actually got there. But for me, the more I see it and I see it from an angle, just this here.
It's that there, yeah. See, I think I'm more inclined to say it's not, just because we've sort of been hard done by a few decisions, you know what I mean? So I'm sort of looking at it going, you know what, maybe we deserve a bit of the green light, but let's say Cardiff probably don't like, but I don't know, maybe I need to see it again.
Yeah. But, I think maybe that one for us in the first half might put doubt in his mind where he thought, oh, Everton have had a potential one there, a sort of that's quite similar, probably can't give it, but for me, we had the instant replay up above, and so obviously slowed down from a different angle, and everyone there was just like...
You see now, it's unusual because it's only really been recently, and I think Everton still stick to it. Most of the time, if it's a contentious decision, they tend not to show a replay at the ground. They tend to just go, you know what, it's just...
I don't think they showed it on the main screen, I don't think they showed it on the main screen now because of all the oohs and ahs type things, so, but up where I was sitting, they have it like on the small screen, and...
Do they, yeah?
Yeah, so you get to see it, like, and you're like, that's a penalty. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there he is, the main man. I like the way you call him the governor, was it? Yeah.
The general. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good nickname.
How do you think he played?
Thought he had a great game. Especially the first half. Thought he really bossed the place. And I'm been impressed with all the signings, really. But this lad looks something special, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And quite happy to have him. I'd like to see it being made permanent. It was nice to hear Marco also talking about it as well.
Yeah.
Saying that he's, you know, obviously looking to try and do something like that as well, if they can make it happen to it.
Supposedly Marcel Brands obviously had the link with Everton before obviously he joined. He must have been in the pipeline, and he told Everton to sign him like a season before, to say this guy's the man, he's going to get him. Obviously didn't materialise or whatever, but for me I think he's an absolute gem, and if you can get him, it sends out a real message to say, listen, these are the kind of players that we can attract. You know, we're Everton, we're going forward, we're getting a new ground, we've got a new manager who's got this vision, this blueprint of playing attacking football, playing through the thirds, really exciting stuff. And you know, if you can attract him to come, you've got Mina, you've got Bernard, Digne, Richarlison, you know, it's only going to help you attract them more better players. Because if you're a player, whether you're playing in Italy, you're playing in Spain, in France, and you're looking at the team, you're thinking, wouldn't mind playing with Richarlison? Plays for Brazil. Wouldn't mind playing with Gomez there. You know, playing for Portugal and stuff. So it's only going to help us get better, but also I think attract players in the transfer window.
Oh, definitely.
For sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
And make us a more attractive club.
Of course, yeah. Style of football, getting played as well. It's going to help as well. But no, I'm very impressed with the general there. It's definitely, isn't it?
There was a part in this where he got the ball. He was in this area actually. You see it in the first half, and he's got it. He's had a
just the turn he did on someone, yeah.
And he's done like a turn, and he's took 3 players out of the game. It was just like, effortless. It was just, you just know he's a player.
Yeah, he is. Top man.
So yeah, that was it, I think, wasn't it? And then
handsome devil as well. Can we get him some endorsements, like some, like, I don't know, some sort of like Gillette shape razor thing or something? Come on, someone's got to help him out there. Come on, look at him. See, he's after endorsements. Look at him. He's made for it.
Definitely.
But, should be his agent.
But the next one, if you go on to there, then you look at obviously, to go on to it now. The next one, isn't it? Yeah.
This one, yeah.
Yeah. So league table. What are you thinking?
It's looking good. You know, it's looking a lot better than it was, let's say, 6 weeks ago. You know, sort of after the League Cup, once we went out of that, people were thinking, oh, what's the end of the season and until maybe the FA Cup, but no, it's looking really well, isn't it? Like, we're on to what, 22 points. The goal difference is, I can't believe looking at Man United's goal difference, you know, -1. What's going on there? It's not right, is it? You know, it's just surprising to see that. We've actually scored the same amount of goals as Man United as well, which is quite surprising as well, goals scored, 20. Yeah. So yeah. No, it's looking good. Realistically, can we finish anywhere higher than that? It's going to be tough, innit?
You say tough, but with it including that weekend's game and our first game back after the New Year, so New Year's Day, it's 9 games, you know, the Christmas period.
It's a lot, isn't it? Yeah.
So 27 points available. You just got 3. So that league, you know, whatever their fixtures are, you know, you might close the gap. So it's going to be one of them where teams all around are going to drop points. Probably the exception maybe of City and Liverpool. I think Tottenham are on a good run now as well, aren't they? Chelsea have lost a bit of form.
Good win for the Spurs on Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah. So you just don't know. I think once it gets to New Year's Day, that will even itself out. You know, have a better picture of where Everton can actually look to finish.
Yeah, so that's about it. We've got what plugs have we got? We got one actually on Thursday the 29th. The Merseyside Derby quiz is on. It'll be on at 8:30. It's free to enter. Winning team gets £25. This is a one-off quiz, by the way, as well. So please try and make it down. Last football quiz went really well, Callum.
Yeah.
It was dead busy as well. This one, it's all Everton Liverpool questions. A lot of questions about the derby. Got 5 pitches for you as well. Guess the players, obviously. Yeah, get yourselves down. It's free. You know, it's the worst that can happen. Never go. If you don't win, you don't win.
100%.
That's it. Yeah, so we'll see you back again soon for the Merseyside Derby preview as well, won't we?
Yeah.
Right, so other than that, up the toffees.